everyone, and welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And today we are beginning our 3-day story article. Yay, we're telling a story with a very interesting title that doesn't give a lot away. It doesn't give us a lot of clues or hints or ideas about what the story is all about, because it's simply the baker's daughter. Now, Sam, you are a daughter.
I am a daughter.
I am not. I am a son, but you are a daughter. Are you a baker's daughter?
I am not a baker's daughter.
No. I think that's good. I don't think I would want to be a baker. A baker's daughter, or since I'm a guy, I wouldn't want to date or marry a baker's daughter because one summer many years ago in high school or college, I worked as a baker for a summer job. And here's the main reason I don't want to have my life connected to bakers or daughters or anything. Bakers have to get up really early in the morning. I had to be at this job at like 6:30 a.m. to start making bread, because that's what bakers do. They bake bread and cake and cookies and croissants in France. And of course, people buy that stuff for breakfast. It has to be ready before breakfast, so you, the baker, or I guess the baker's daughter, or the baker's husband, has to get up really early.
Yes.
It's no fun.
No, I definitely am not a super morning person, but I do like my breads to be ready in the morning.
And the smell of bread baking is nice, but it's still 6 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. So we know that this story will be about a baker's daughter. I think it'll just be 3 days of her complaining. I don't want to get up so early. Dad, come on, let me sleep. That's the whole story. Well, maybe not. Let's find out by reading it.
Long ago, there was a baker. He sold bread to everyone in town. However, he wasn't a very nice man, and he would cheat people.
Okay, everyone, this is day 1 of our 3-day story. So we have the baker's daughter, part 1. So she's probably up super early. We're probably up and baking. But what is a baker? Just to be sure that everybody knows, what's a baker?
Yeah, well, we mentioned a baker bakes things in a bakery. That's what they do. They prepare food made basically of bread, different types of bread. It can be normal bread like you cut to make a sandwich. It could be a long French baguette, one of those long sticks of bread, or it could be something fancier, cakes, pies, donuts, croissants, danishes, turnovers, strudels, cookies, muffins, brownies, basically things made with flour and eggs and sugar and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of people might not have a bakery, a special store where bread is made in their neighborhood. You might buy your bread at the supermarket or at the convenience store, at a coffee shop. But often a baker made those different things. If they're made of bread, it was probably made by a baker in some kind of way. Now notice we're not calling this person a cook or a chef or something like that. Baker is a special term, a special job for preparing bread-like food. All right, so long ago, there was a baker. Yes, there have probably been bakers for 5,000 years. People have been eating bread in many forms for a very long time. So yeah, that could make sense. It could be hundreds of years ago. He sold bread to everyone in town. He was a popular baker, and I'm sure his bread was very delicious.
Yes, and if it was long ago, they might be living in a smaller town, so there might only be one baker, and so then he has to sell to everybody.
That's
and has to make enough bread to be able to sell to everyone. So sell is our verb here, and that means to make something that you're going to give to other people in exchange for money. So you're not buying, you're the one who is selling. So in this case, we have a baker. He is making bread, he's making whatever it is that he's making, and those are all items that he can sell to people. So customers come in, give him money, and they walk out with bread and something yummy. So that is what's happening at this bakery. We have a baker, but this story is about a baker's daughter. So let's see if we're going to see anything about her popping up anywhere. So if we continue with our story, it says, however, he wasn't a very nice man and he would cheat people. Okay, we're getting a little more information about the baker, the father, and he is kind of a cheat.
Yeah, as you said, it's maybe a small town. Maybe he's the only baker in town, which is why his bread is popular, but he might not be a popular man or person in the town because he cheats people. Maybe the people don't know they're being cheated, because if I cheat you, I am tricking you probably to get money from you or more money from you than I should. It's kind of like stealing, but as I said, I'm trying to trick you so that you just give me the extra money. If, for example, you pay someone to do some work, maybe you pay them to fix your computer or your motorcycle or your car. What a cheater, and we can call a person who cheats a cheater, just like we call a person who bakes a baker. What the cheater will do is they'll fix your little problem, and then they'll say, oh, and I found this other problem and this other problem, and I fixed all those. So the price will be higher because I did more work, except they didn't do the extra work. Yeah, they're lying to you to try to trick you so you give them extra money. That is to cheat someone. It's to try to basically tell them lies so you get something out of it. And it's not a good thing to do. It's not good to cheat in your tests. It's not good to cheat in games. And it's really not good to cheat in business. It's a crime, and you could go to jail, and certainly no one will trust you anymore.
No. And this is probably, if this is the baker and the father, and this story is about the daughter, then maybe she, let's see, she might be a cheater also, or maybe she's going to be on the nice side. I'm not sure. We'll have to see.
We're going to have to find out what happens to this cheating baker, and everything will become clearer after the break.
His daughter saw that and learned from him. One day, she was alone in the store when an old woman came in. She was hungry and asked the girl for some bread. The girl told the old woman to leave, but she wouldn't. The old woman just asked again and again for bread. Finally, the girl gave her some dough.
Okay, so a small town has a baker who's popular. He sells lots of tasty, delicious bread, but maybe he wouldn't if the customers knew he was cheating them. He might be selling them bread that is filled with things that aren't so healthy. Maybe he says, oh, this is 500 grams, but it's really 400 grams, and he charges them more. You know, he's doing things like that. Business people who do that are very dishonest, and if they're caught, they should go to jail. But what will happen with the baker and his daughter, who we haven't met yet?
Yes, so we are about to meet her, and this next sentence, it says, his daughter saw that, meaning saw that he was kind of a cheater.
I'm sure she was upset.
Well, his daughter saw that and learned from him. So
she learned from him?
Yes.
You mean she told the police about what he's doing? No?
No, she went, Dad makes a lot of money cheating. I want to be like him.
The story should be the cheater's daughter.
Yes,
Oh no, this is not good. But I guess she sees her father, she admires her father, and maybe he tells her, oh, this is normal, this is fine, don't worry about it.
A lot of times we might say like father, like daughter,
yes.
which means they act the same.
They're
but
both
anyway,
dishonest.
Yes. And so then we see it continues on and it goes, one day she was alone in the store when an old woman came in.
She's not going to cheat the old woman.
Well, I think probably she will, but we'll see. So we have this adjective alone in this part of the story, and alone means to be all by yourself. So there's no one else around. Again, this bakery is the father's bakery, so probably most of the time the father and the daughter are working together, but this time she's all alone, no other workers, no other people around, and an old woman comes in. So what's she gonna do?
I don't know. That's right. She's on her own. There's no one else working there and maybe even no other customers in the store. So let's find out. She was hungry. That's the old woman. Probably doesn't have a lot of money either. This hungry, poor old woman. Of course, anyone would want to help that kind of person, right? Well, the article says she was hungry and asked the girl for some bread. So she came to the store, said, I have no money. I'm really, really hungry. I haven't eaten in days. Please, can I have some of your old bread or something like that? Because when you're hungry, you will probably be quite happy to eat almost anything, even bread that's a few days old, because hungry means you need food. You haven't eaten for a long time. Your stomach is going, you might get a headache. You might get really tired all the time. It's no fun being hungry. Of course, most of us have felt hungry at different times. You know, if you have a small breakfast or don't eat breakfast, by the time lunchtime comes, you probably will feel quite hungry, feel the need to find some food, to eat some food. The other similar one would be thirsty, T-H-I-R-S-T-Y. That would be you need something to drink. So being hungry, being thirsty means you need to get some food, some drink, something to eat, or something to drink. In this case, she needs food. She needs something to eat, and maybe the people in the bakery will help her. Please, I'm so hungry. I'm an old lady. I haven't eaten in days.
But this daughter, again, she's kind of a cheat, and she saw this old lady, and she's like, So if we read, it says, the girl told the old woman to leave. So she didn't even ask, do you want anything? Do you have any money? Are you going? No, she didn't say anything. Just get out.
She kicked her out of the store.
She tried to.
She tried to.
Yes, because the next part says, but she wouldn't. Now it's a little tough because you've got two, you have the girl and you've got the old woman, so you've got two she's, but the she is the old woman. So it says the girl asked the old woman to leave. The old woman would not leave.
All right, so she's saying, I won't leave until you give me food, because if I leave, I'm just going to die and I have to have food. And the old woman just asked again and again for bread. So you can see the girl saying, get out of my store, get the heck out of here. And the woman's like, no, I'm not good. I'm so hungry, please, please. By holding on to her skirt or crying or something like that. And of course, this took some time and might have, caused problems in the store. So finally, it says,
finally, the girl gave her some dough.
Oh.
So now it's like, okay, she's kind of half giving her what she wants. The old woman wants bread. So finally, the girl is like, well, you can have some dough. Here you go.
Okay, we'll tell you guys what, it's kind of bread, but not quite bread. We'll get to that in a second. But finally, you saw that. Finally, the girl gave the old woman some dough. Finally is an adverb we often use at the end of a story or after a certain group or set of actions have happened. Something happens, then another thing happens, and then maybe another thing happens, and then finally. So when I say finally, you know that this story or this part of the story is kind of coming to the end because this is final. This is the finish. This is the end part. So basically, you're just sort of showing the person who's listening to the story that this is the part where everything sort of ends, everything sort of wraps up. I had a crazy day. I missed my bus. I got wet waiting for a taxi. I got the wrong food at lunch. My boss yelled at me. And finally, on the way home, a dog bit me on the leg or something like that. I'm just telling you about all these terrible things, and this is how it ended. So finally, the old woman does get some food, but her bread is not bread, it's dough. It's like baby bread.
Yes. And so after she asked and asked and asked, the girl was like, all right, here, you can have some dough.
Dough.
Well, dough is just the unbaked bread. So it hasn't been put in the oven yet. We haven't added heat. It hasn't cooked up and baked up. And so it's just kind of that kind of mushy kind of mess of all the ingredients before you cook it. And you're not supposed to eat dough because it's got a lot of raw ingredients, raw meaning uncooked. So it's got things like raw flour and raw eggs, and those are not things you're supposed to eat. You might get sick. So the girl is like, here, have some dough. Well, the old woman kind of can't do anything with that dough because she can't eat it. And she probably doesn't have an oven to bake it. So what's she gonna do?
Exactly. If someone says, can I have a hamburger? And you just give them meat without cooking it, that's not really a hamburger and they can't really do anything with it. I mean, I guess she could eat the dough, and if she's so hungry, she might. But you're right, it could make her sick. And of course, it's certainly not as nice or as healthy as having proper bread. Not a very kind daughter so far. I'm quite disappointed with this whole baker family. All right, we're going to come back tomorrow with more. Hopefully something will get better for the old lady, but we're going to have to find out. So please join us for that. Until then, have a nice piece of cooked dough, in other words, bread, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Long ago, there was a baker. He sold bread to everyone in town. However, he wasn't a very nice man, and he would cheat people. His daughter saw that and learned from him. One day, she was alone in the store when an old woman came in. She was hungry and asked the girl for some bread. The girl told the old woman to leave, but she wouldn't. The old woman just asked again and again for bread. Finally, the girl gave her some dough.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 sell 动词贩卖，它的三态是 sell, sold, sold. The store doesn't sell coffee. 这间商店没有卖咖啡。下一个单字 cheat 动词欺骗。Peter has cheated his customers for years. Peter 欺骗他的客户好多年了。下一个单字 hungry 形容词饥饿的。I'm very hungry because I didn't have lunch. 我很饿，因为我没吃午餐。最后一个单字 finally 副词最后终于。I finally got home at midnight. 我终于在午夜时回到家了。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 long ago 从前很久以前，这是一个时间副词的片语，要搭配过去式使用。Long 在这里指的是副词，表示长时间的。同样的意思也可以说 a long time ago。我们来看看这个例句。Long ago, people rode horses. 很久以前，人们骑马。下一个文法 learn from somebody 从某人身上学到，这是一个固定用法。Learn 是动词学习学得的意思。我们来看看这个例句。Wendy is good at cooking. She learned from a skilled chef. Wendy 很会煮饭，她师从一位技艺精湛的厨师。Skilled 指的是技艺精湛的， Chef 是厨师。最后一个文法 again and again 一再的屡次。Again 是一个副词，指的是再次再度。我们来看看这个例句。Sarah lied to her mother again and again. Sarah 反复地对她的妈妈说谎。 以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Today, we're going to learn about a special project in Chiayi, and it's called Chiayi City Elevated Railway Project. There will be 2 elevated stations, and when the construction is complete, many railroad crossings and also bridges will be torn down. So Chiayi will look quite different. So let's learn about it.
Chiayi has been a bustling city recently. More and more people are coming to Chiayi. Commercial activities and tourism have brought prosperity to Chiayi. However, development can also bring problems with it. One of them is the above-ground railway. The railway in downtown Chiayi divides the city into 2 parts. This has led to the development obstructions for both sides of the railway. What's more, the railway crossings along the railway may pose a safety issue. In order to solve these problems, the Railway Bureau and Chiayi City government have collaborated to launch the Chiayi City Elevated Railway Project. This elevated railway will be 10.9 kilometers in length. It starts from the Nyocho-si Bridge in the north and ends at the Tropic of Cancer Station in the south. There will be 2 new elevated stations, Jabe Station and Chiayi Station, 1 above-ground station, Tropic of Cancer Station, and a coach yard. When construction is complete, many railroad crossings and land bridges will be torn down. This will reduce the risk of traffic collisions, making the lives of citizens safer and more convenient. The elevated railway will also remove the development obstructions for both areas. It will not only balance urban development but also improve upon the city's landscape. The new Chiayi station will play an important role in the city's transportation system. It will be a green building with 4 above-ground floors and 2 underground floors. The old Chiayi station and the first platform will be preserved for future revitalization. The construction of the new Chiayi station will contain 3 elements of Alisan. The first one is an undulating roof design. This idea is based on Alisan's ridgeline. The second one is geodesic glass paneling. It is designed to represent the sea of clouds on Alisan. The third one is vaulted wooden ceilings on the platforms. Using wood as a building material symbolizes the forestry of Alisan. In addition, new buildings will be constructed around the new Chiayi station sometime in the future. There will be hotels, transit centers, residential areas, malls, and offices. Chiayi's railway takes many people on a trip down memory lane. And Chiayi's elevated railway will bring Chiayi into the future.
After learning about this special project in Chiayi, now we know it's going to change the landscape of Chiayi in the future. There will be transit centers, hotels, offices, so it's going to look very, very different. But it's going to attract many tourists and visitors. Well, this is all the time we have for today, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.